The advice sounds simple enough. Drink more water, and your skin will look younger. It's one of the most common health tips in the world. Millions of people carry water bottles everywhere they go, believing that every extra sip is helping them fight wrinkles, dryness, and visible aging. But what if that popular belief is only part of the story? Here's something many people never hear. Your skin isn't just a sponge that becomes youthful by absorbing more water. In fact, many people drink plenty of water every day and still struggle with dry-looking skin, fine lines, and a loss of firmness as they get older. So the real question is this: if hydration is so important, why doesn't water alone always create the healthy, youthful appearance people expect? The answer may lie in a hidden factor that works behind the scenes every single day. A factor that helps your skin hold moisture, maintain its structure, and preserve its smooth, resilient appearance. And as the years pass, this factor naturally begins to decline. That factor is collagen.
Collagen is often described as the scaffolding of the skin. Imagine the framework of a building that helps everything stay strong and supported. When that framework is healthy, skin appears firmer, smoother, and more resilient. But when it gradually weakens with age, the skin may have a harder time maintaining the youthful qualities many people want to preserve. This creates an interesting connection between hydration and aging. Water is important, but water needs the right environment to do its job effectively. Without strong structural support beneath the surface, hydration alone may not deliver the results people hope for. Researchers have spent years studying how collagen, skin structure, and moisture retention work together. What they've discovered paints a much bigger picture than the simple advice to just drink more water. The relationship between hydration and healthy-looking skin is far more fascinating and far more powerful than most people realize.
The good news is that supporting this process doesn't require expensive treatments or complicated routines. In fact, there is a surprisingly simple daily approach that may help support both hydration and the body's natural collagen-building processes at the same time. And once you understand how these two systems work together, you may never look at your morning glass of water the same way again. Because to understand why hydration sometimes falls short, we first need to explore what collagen is actually doing beneath the surface of your skin.
Here's a question worth thinking about. If drinking more water automatically created youthful skin, then everyone who stayed well hydrated would have perfect collagen levels. Yet that's clearly not what we see in real life. Many people faithfully drink glass after glass of water every day and still notice changes that often come with aging. Skin that feels less firm, fine lines that become more visible, and a gradual loss of elasticity. This happens because hydration and collagen production are not the same process. They work together, but they serve very different roles inside the body. Think of water as the delivery system. It helps transport nutrients, supports countless cellular functions, and keeps tissues properly hydrated. But simply delivering water does not tell the body to manufacture new collagen. That would be like delivering building materials to a construction site without giving the workers any instructions. The materials are present, but the actual construction may never begin.
The encouraging news is that hydration can become much more powerful when paired with nutrients that support the body's natural collagen-building pathways. Instead of viewing water as a standalone solution, many researchers now view it as part of a broader strategy, one that combines hydration with the ingredients and signals the body actually needs. This idea is often called smarter hydration. Rather than simply asking how much water you're drinking, it asks a more important question. What is that water helping deliver to your cells?
Before we can understand how to support collagen production, we need to take a closer look at what collagen actually is. Because the more scientists learn about this remarkable protein, the clearer it becomes that collagen is doing far more than most people realize. Most people think collagen is simply something you lose with age. That's only part of the story. Collagen is actually the most abundant protein in the human body. It's found not only in the skin, but also in tendons, ligaments, blood vessels, bones, and many other tissues. Think of it as one of the body's primary structural materials, the framework that helps hold everything together. What makes collagen especially fascinating is the way it is built. Collagen has a unique design known as a triple helix structure. Rather than being a single strand, collagen consists of 3 protein chains tightly wound around one another, almost like 3 ropes twisted together to create a stronger cable. This design gives collagen its remarkable combination of strength and flexibility. When collagen levels are healthy, the skin has a stronger foundation. It can better retain its shape and resist some of the visible effects of daily wear and tear. Think of a new mattress with strong internal springs. The surface remains supportive because the structure underneath is intact. Unfortunately, collagen is constantly being remodeled throughout life. Old fibers break down, while new fibers are produced to replace them. During youth, the body generally produces collagen faster than it loses it. As the years pass, however, that balance begins to shift. The cells responsible for manufacturing collagen gradually become less productive, and environmental stressors can further accelerate breakdown. So, if the body is constantly rebuilding collagen, what cells are actually doing the work? The answer begins with a group of cells that most people have never heard of. They're called fibroblasts. Think of fibroblasts as the body's construction crews. While collagen serves as the building material, fibroblasts are the workers responsible for producing, organizing, and maintaining that material. Without them, the collagen framework that supports healthy skin simply could not exist. What's fascinating is how sophisticated this process really is. Fibroblasts must carefully combine specific amino acids, fold them into precise shapes, and organize them into strong collagen fibers. It's a highly coordinated process that depends on many biological systems working together, like a construction site that needs blueprints, materials, equipment, energy, and communication all at once. Many people assume that once they reach a certain age, their collagen-producing cells simply stop functioning. But research suggests the reality is far more nuanced. Fibroblasts do not suddenly shut down. In many cases, they continue working well into later life. The challenge is that these cells may become less active or receive fewer of the signals that encourage optimal collagen production. It's similar to a skilled construction crew that still knows how to build, but receives fewer work orders and less support than before. This is one reason modern researchers increasingly focus on supporting cellular function. The goal is to help create an environment where fibroblasts can continue performing their natural roles as effectively as possible. Even the most hard-working fibroblasts cannot efficiently construct collagen without a critical helper molecule: vitamin C. Most people associate vitamin C with the immune system or an occasional glass of orange juice, yet one of its most important jobs receives far less attention. Without adequate vitamin C, the body's collagen-building machinery simply cannot operate at full capacity. Inside the body, collagen production depends on specialized proteins known as enzymes. These enzymes help transform newly formed collagen into the strong, stable structure that tissues need. Vitamin C acts as an essential helper for several of these collagen-building enzymes. In simple terms, it helps ensure the finished product is properly formed and structurally sound. Scientists have known about this relationship for centuries. During long sea voyages in the Age of Sail, sailors who spent months without fresh fruits and vegetables developed scurvy, a disease caused by severe vitamin C deficiency. Gums became weak, wounds healed poorly, teeth could loosen and fall out. Today, researchers understand that many of these symptoms were directly linked to impaired collagen production. The lesson remains important. Vitamin C is not simply an optional nutrient. It is a key participant in one of the body's most important structural maintenance systems, and it plays a dual role.
It helps the body build collagen, and it acts as an antioxidant, helping defend existing collagen from damage. Make sure your daily routine regularly includes natural sources of vitamin C, citrus fruits, berries, kiwi, bell peppers, or other colorful produce. Consistency matters more than occasional large amounts. It's important to clear up one of the biggest sources of confusion in skin health: the difference between hydrated skin and structurally supported skin. Think about a fresh, ripe grape. It appears smooth and plump because it contains plenty of moisture. But imagine the skin of that grape becoming thinner and weaker over time. Even if moisture is still present, the underlying structure would no longer hold. A similar principle applies to human skin. Surface hydration refers to the moisture in the outer layers of skin. When skin is properly hydrated, it often looks smoother, softer, and more radiant. Fine lines may appear less noticeable, but these effects can be temporary. When hydration drops, the skin may once again appear dry or less vibrant. Collagen works at a different level, beneath the surface, contributing to the framework that provides support, strength, and resilience. While hydration can influence how skin looks today, collagen influences how well the skin maintains its structure over months and years. An easy way to visualize this is to think of a house. Hydration is like keeping the walls freshly painted. The house may look attractive from the outside, but collagen is more like the beams inside the walls, the hidden components that determine whether the building remains strong over the long term. The most effective approach is a combination of both strategies. Moisture supports the surface, collagen supports the structure. Both contribute to the final result.
Building collagen is only half the battle. The body is constantly creating and repairing collagen, but at the same time, various factors are working to break it down. One of the most important and often overlooked is a process known as oxidative stress. Throughout normal life, our cells generate unstable molecules called free radicals. These molecules are highly reactive, constantly seeking to interact with other structures inside the body. In small amounts, free radicals are a natural part of human biology. Problems begin when their numbers become excessive. Imagine tiny sparks flying inside a wooden structure. A few sparks may cause little harm, but if sparks become too numerous, the risk of damage increases dramatically. Free radicals behave in a similar way. When the body's protective systems can no longer keep them in check, oxidative stress develops, and collagen is one of the structures that can be affected. Several everyday factors increase this process. Ultraviolet radiation from sunlight is one of the most significant. Airborne pollution is another. Even normal metabolic activity generates free radicals, which means oxidative stress isn't solely an environmental issue. It's a natural challenge the body must continuously manage. The encouraging news is that the body possesses remarkable antioxidant defense systems. Nutrients found in colorful fruits and vegetables help maintain a healthier balance between damage and repair. Collagen support and collagen protection are equal priorities. Building collagen is important, but protecting existing collagen from unnecessary damage may be just as valuable over time. Vitamin C helps neutralize free radicals and protect collagen from oxidative stress. But the body doesn't rely on a single nutrient to do this job alone. When scientists study healthy aging, they rarely focus on one antioxidant in isolation. Instead, they examine how multiple protective compounds interact and support one another, a concept sometimes called nutrient synergy. The idea is that certain nutrients work more effectively in combination than they do alone. Think of it like a sports team. A single talented player can make a difference, but a coordinated team is usually far stronger. One group of compounds that has attracted significant scientific interest is polyphenols, naturally occurring plant compounds found in colorful fruits, vegetables, herbs, and beverages. Among the richest natural sources are berries, blueberries, strawberries, blackberries, raspberries.
Their vibrant colors are not just visually appealing, they often reflect the presence of protective plant chemicals that contribute to the body's antioxidant network. Green tea is another fascinating example. Specific compounds called catechins have been widely studied for their antioxidant properties. While green tea alone cannot prevent aging, it represents how plant-based nutrients may contribute to the body's ongoing efforts to manage oxidative stress. Rather than searching for a single magical ingredient, the goal is to provide the body with a broad spectrum of supportive compounds that can work together. Challenge yourself to add more color to your plate each day. Deep blues, reds, greens, oranges, and purples often indicate the presence of valuable plant compounds.
Even well-nourished cells can struggle when another hidden process begins to interfere with the body's natural repair systems. This process is known as chronic inflammation. Most people are familiar with inflammation in its short-term form: a cut, a sprain, a small injury. Inflammation helps initiate healing. In this context, it serves a valuable purpose. The problem arises when low-level inflammation persists for long periods of time. Researchers studying aging have increasingly focused on a phenomenon sometimes called inflammaging, a combination of the words inflammation and aging. It describes the gradual accumulation of chronic, low-grade inflammatory activity that can develop throughout the body as the years pass. Unlike an obvious injury, this process is often impossible to notice. There may be no dramatic symptoms, no clear warning sign.
Yet, at the cellular level, tissues may be experiencing ongoing stress that slowly influences how effectively they can maintain and repair themselves. One important contributor is prolonged exposure to stress hormones. When stress becomes chronic, weeks, months, or years of elevated tension, it can influence immune activity, tissue repair, and cellular communication. Think of it as a construction site, constantly interrupted by alarms and emergency calls. The workers may still be present, but they spend less time building and more time responding to disruptions. Inflammation can affect collagen in a similar way. The encouraging news is that many everyday habits can influence inflammatory balance. Sleep quality, physical activity, stress management, and nutrition all interact with the body's inflammatory systems. Pay attention to recovery as seriously as you pay attention to activity.
There's another surprisingly powerful threat to collagen, one that may be hiding in foods and beverages many people consume every single day without a second thought. What if the drink you're using to stay hydrated is actually accelerating skin aging? Researchers have been investigating this for decades through a process known as glycation. Glycation occurs when excess sugar molecules attach themselves to proteins in the body. And unfortunately, collagen is one of the proteins most vulnerable to this process. Imagine a brand new elastic band. It stretches easily, returns to its shape, and remains flexible under pressure. Now imagine that same elastic band becoming increasingly rigid and brittle over time. Researchers believe a similar process can occur when collagen is exposed to excessive glycation.
As sugars interact with collagen fibers, they contribute to the formation of compounds known as advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. Over time, these compounds cause collagen to become stiffer, less flexible, and less capable of providing the support the skin needs. This process doesn't happen overnight. It develops slowly over many years through repeated small exposures, often from highly processed foods and sugary beverages consumed daily. Become more aware of hidden sugars in beverages. Many drinks marketed as refreshing or hydrating can contain surprisingly large amounts of added sugar. Reading labels and paying attention to liquid sugar intake can provide valuable insight into your daily exposure.
Even the best nutrients cannot help skin cells if they never arrive. That's why circulation is one of the most underrated factors in collagen health. Every second of every day, an intricate network of blood vessels carries oxygen, vitamins, minerals, and amino acids to tissues throughout the body. Think of it as a vast transportation network. Nutrients are the cargo, blood vessels are the roads, and cells are the destinations. When transportation runs smoothly, resources arrive where they are needed. Regular physical movement helps support this delivery system. During activity, the heart pumps more blood, circulation increases, and tissues receive a greater supply of the resources needed for maintenance and repair, including the skin, where fibroblasts work constantly behind the scenes. Walking is one of the simplest examples. A daily walk activates multiple biological systems simultaneously. Heart rate increases modestly, circulation improves, and blood vessels respond to changing demands throughout the body. Over time, these small physiological responses create a healthier environment for cellular function. Choose a form of movement you genuinely enjoy and can perform consistently. A daily walk, light resistance training, or any sustainable activity can help support the circulation that healthy tissues depend upon. At this point, a surprising theme has emerged throughout this entire journey. Collagen health is rarely determined by a single nutrient. It's not controlled by one supplement, one food, one exercise session, or one glass of water. Instead, it reflects the cumulative effect of thousands of small signals the body receives every day. And that brings us back to something simple: water. By itself, water is not collagen. It doesn't directly build collagen fibers or reverse the aging process. But water serves another role that may be just as important. It acts as a delivery system. Every day, water helps transport nutrients, oxygen, hormones, and biological messengers throughout the body. Without adequate hydration, even beneficial nutrients face greater challenges reaching the tissues where they are needed. Think of a tree growing in a forest. Its strength doesn't come from one day of sunshine or one rainfall. It develops through years of consistent nourishment, gradual adaptation, and steady growth. Human health follows a similar principle. The habits that seem small today often become significant when repeated hundreds or thousands of times. That's the ultimate lesson. Not perfection, consistency. Imagine beginning the day with a glass of water, optionally with fresh lemon, a nutrient-dense breakfast with protein and colorful plant foods, a walk later in the day, choices that reduce unnecessary sugar and support antioxidant protection. None of these are extraordinary on their own. Yet together, they create a pattern of support that helps the body's natural systems function more effectively. So the next time you pour a glass of water, consider seeing it differently. Not as a miracle cure, not as a magic anti-aging solution, but as the beginning of a daily ritual, a signal to your cells that you are providing the resources and support they need to do their job. Because longevity is rarely built through a single decision. It is built through small choices, repeated over time. And when those choices become daily habits, they can help create the foundation for healthier skin, stronger tissues, and a more resilient body for years to come.